What's up guys, welcome back. So I've had a really good suggestion for a video from you guys and I think it's going to be great. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through a full kind of routine, workout, whatever you want to call it, for stretching and mobility for weightlifting. It means we're going to spend a lot of time on the hips, on the shoulders, and all those areas that really kind of play a big part in weightlifting, especially Olympic weightlifting. There is two things I want you to consider before we start this. One, make sure you're nice and warm before you do this. Two, I personally wouldn't do this routine immediately before lifting weights. The reason I say that is we're going to be trying to explore and get new range of motion, push our muscles further than they've been before, so basically we become more flexible and we have more mobility and we have more range of motion. When we go to work out, we are looking at getting warm, getting warmth in the joints, priming those muscles so they're nice and explosive and we can rely on them, and rediscovering pre-found range of motion, the kind of range of motion that we're going to be exploring today. So before working out, priming, warming, ready to go. Away from working out is when we're going to push our muscles a little bit further. I'm going to stick some music on. I'm going to jump in and talk when I have to get you in positions and give you little cues. Without further ado, let's do it. Okay, first stretch of the day. We're going to start working on the groin and the hips. Take your hands out in front of you, spread your knees apart, and all I want you to do is to push yourself back, pushing your bum towards your heels. There's a slight gap, about 4 inches in between my feet or my toes, and I'm just pushing back. We're going to spend a minute here and then we're going to progress it a bit further. At any point, if you feel any pain in your joints, your knees, especially when we do glute stretches and stuff like that, just revert back to an easier option or change the angle where it's not causing you any pain. Okay, straight away we're going to progress that and make it a little bit tougher. What you're going to do is walk your hands back and sit yourself upright and just let yourself drop down into your hips. You squeeze your bum, that's going to drive your hips forwards a little bit, probably make your stretch a little bit more effective. Again, a minute here. Halfway. So let yourself drop down into it, release the glutes off a bit now. Five seconds. Okay, let's take this a step further. Come down onto your forearms, let your legs spread apart a little bit, open your hips, and we're going to actively force ourselves back. Be gentle with it. We're looking for it to be mildly uncomfortable. I don't want you to be screaming in agony. So now my feet are opened up and I'm pushing down into my hips. So this will be the most advanced of these stretches so far. You're going to be feeling this one quite a bit in your hips. Just breathe into this one. One thing you'll find when you're stretching is if you take a deep breath and exhale, as you exhale, your muscles tend to relax and you can go a little bit further in to your stretching. Same thing applies when you foam roll. If you're doing your back, for example, and you're holding your breath, it can be very hard to release your thoracic region. So breathe deep. Keep pushing back into it. Spend a little bit longer in this one. All the others are really just building up to this. Deep breaths, try and go a little bit further if you can with another 30 seconds in this position. 2, and 1. Okay, so keeping it nice and simple, keeping it in the same area. Real simple stretch, you've all seen this before. Come onto one knee, take one leg outside. It's basically half of the splits, but what this allows you to do is you can use your hands and your knee as a support rather than the splits. It's kind of how sweaty your feet are, how slippery your floor is, and gravity. And gravity's a bitch, it'll get you in the end. So this way you're in much more control. So just slowly let yourself work into it. We're going to spend a minute on each leg here. We're not going to take too long in this position. Again, deep breaths. Five more seconds, guys. Okay, what I want you to do here is to come up a little bit to release the stretch off first, and then turn your foot up so your toes are now facing the ceiling and come down into this stretch. So if you go over onto like the top of your foot, like your laces, if you're kicking a football, you're going to be able to get a little bit lower. So my toes are pointed behind me now. If you can work yourself to the floor, even better. I'm almost there. Okay, another 30 seconds in this position. When you're doing these stretches, you're going to get some really cool feedback. Like, I'm super tight in here at the moment. This is my TFL. This is a muscle that I often struggle with, so I know that I have to kind of get a cricket ball and release that off. So listen to your body when you're in these stretches and find out, is it really this that's giving me the most problem at the moment? No, it's actually here that I'm almost cramping here. And that's totally fine. It just gives you somewhere to work on and something you can progress to. Okay, 2, 1, and swap slowly out of there. Back to the first position. We're going to use our left knee as a kickstand this time. Pop this leg out to the side, nice and slowly, and then we're going to drop into it. Again, I'm going to put the top of my foot to the floor. So laces down. If you're super tight, you might feel this in the quad now. If you're feeling this in the quad now, before we've even pushed the hips through, then your quads are tight and we're going to have to work on them as well. If you're wondering why I'm looking up there, I've got a clock on the wall so I can time how long we're spending the stretches. It's all professional around here. Okay, another 30 seconds. That's going to take us to about 8 minutes of stretching so far. We're going to be looking at about 20 minutes here. I don't want it to be too long. But if you want to hold longer in these positions, pause the video, be my guest. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1, release it off, come up a little bit, turn the leg nice and slowly, and drop back down. Get a bit more hamstring now. So this side's much easier for me to drop into. The hips much easier, much comfortabler, more comfortable. You want to lean that way a little bit to get a bit more, you can. Another minute in this position here. Minute and a half in this one. 20 seconds, guys. See if you can get a little bit further for these last 20 seconds. You might be feeling this a lot on the top, around the ankle of the foot that you're laying on, your left foot. I'm super tight on my kind of what we call our plantar flexion of our ankles, pointing the toes down. And relax off from there. Okay, nice and slowly, be gentle with it. Oh. Okay, from there, you might decide that you want to bring a weight in on this one. I'm going to take this dumbbell here, just to allow myself to get a little bit further into my stretch. What I'm going to do is spread my legs apart. Nice and easy. This is a great one to do with your back on the floor and your feet actually up against the wall. But what I'm going to do, again, easier way to do splits is I'm just going to lean down into this and I'm going to use something to gently pull myself onto. Right, let's spend 2 minutes in this one. This one you're going to need to breathe deep on. Should be getting this in your hamstrings, particularly your upper hamstrings, maybe your lower back if it's tight. Another minute here. Big deep breaths. See if you can take it a little further. Alright, relax off. Oh, that was my favourite one so far. Okay, next exercise. If you can't get into a squat, you can bypass this one or just work on some squat therapy in the meantime. What we're going to do, bring ourselves into squat position like this, nice and low in it, elbows inside the knees, hands together, push apart, but then what I want you to do is actively lift your chest up as well. So we get a little bit of thoracic extension as well. Thoracic is basically the mid to upper part of your spine, where a lot of people tend to be a little bit stiff in there, especially with things like overhead squats and snatches, you'll find it. Again, have a little play around, work with your positions, see what feels good for you. Should really be feeling this one really inside your hips, and the front area of your hips, basically where your legs join your body, simply. If you want to get a little bit more, turn the knuckles down, give you an extra few inches and push away. Making sure we're keeping good squat position here. Our lower back's not rounding out here, we're nice and upright and square. I'll show you what I mean from the side. Want to be nice and upright like this, looking forwards. We don't want to be like this with the lower back. All right, last 10 seconds here. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, let's get the butt involved. Let's get the old glutes working. I'm gonna switch mat long raise. Okay, easiest way to get in this one is think press up position on the knees, bring your right leg forwards, step it to 90 degrees. If when you do this, you're getting pain in your knee, bring your heel back closer into your body. It will take so much torque off the knee and go a little bit more piriformis muscle opposed to glutes. I'm going to try and stick to 90 degrees and drop down into this one. Just take your time here. Really try and relax. I was just finding that my back leg was tensed, and then when it released I was like, oh, didn't even realise that was tense. So make a conscious effort to keep everything to relax and really let yourself drop into the stretch. At this point, if you want to take your arms out in front and progress the stretch a little bit, you can. You can even put your arms out in front. And bring yourself out of this position, swap the sides over. Slightly tighter side on my left, so again, I won't get my leg round to 90 degrees. As the stretch progresses, I might find that I can, but at the moment, it's just a bit stiffer. That's totally cool. We'll often find that we'll have a dominant side, one side stiffer than the other, or one side stronger. Again, if you feel like you can come down to your front. I actually can't yet because I can't get this butt cheek to the floor. Another 40 seconds in this position. Okay, come out of this. Okay, I want to keep this video to around the 20-minute mark because I know what attention spans are. When we're stretching, we often do it when we're short of time, in between programs on Netflix. So this is going to be our last stretch. If you guys enjoyed this video enough, give it enough thumbs up. I will come back and do the upper body version, shoulders, lats, chest, all that good stuff. In the meantime, next stretch and my actual nemesis. Toes pointing down. So you can let yourself go back. If you can get your back to the floor, your elbows to the floor, you're a legend. I can't. I used to be able to. Then I got old. We're gonna spend 2 minutes here, just taking our time to go a little bit further back. If you have a least favourite stretch, or a favourite stretch, let me know in the comments. I like to feel good about myself when I realise other people also struggle to get into these positions. I'm gonna try to the elbows. Oh yes. Oh no. Ankles, ouch. Okay, 1 more minute in this position. Hurts a lot. Alright, last 5 seconds, guys. Oh, thank God that one's over. That hurts a lot. Slowly out of that because it's in shooting pains down my ankles. Oh, I think it's kind of cool sometimes to stretch and mobilise with people like myself who aren't absolute stretching ninjas because it's relatable. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you want me to come back and do the upper body version. I hope you guys enjoyed this. See you in the next one. Bye, team.